This is a crucial weekend for the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship. We move to Pembrey in South Wales, and this is part one of a double header. Last time out we were at Croft in North Yorkshire with high drama. Some great racing in the sunshine and a monster accident for Julian Godfrey. He was okay, the car demolished. There was a restart and the final was all about Ollie O'Donovan and Mark Higgins. Higgins had won at Lyddon, O'Donovan just took the win by 61 thousandths. Mark Higgins leads the championship coming to South Wales. He's 4 points up on Julian Godfrey, who in turn is 2 ahead of Ollie O'Donovan. Lots of work has gone on here at Pembrey. We have a new circuit coming into this weekend. The start line is in a different place, the finish is in a different place, and the Joker lap is as ever going to give drama.
Julian, a monumental accident in the final last time out at Croft Circuit. Firstly, are you okay? And secondly, the boys have done an amazing job to get the car here.
Yeah, no, I'm okay myself. I was a little bit stiff the next day, but by sort of 2 days later, all virtually back to normal, and out driving the tests in some cars even on a Tuesday. So no, all good, and they've done a wonderful job on rebuilding the car after Croft. There's been a lot of work, and they've done a few improvements on the car, and hopefully a little bit better.
And despite your inability to take the restart, you're still second in the championship, not far behind Mark. It's all to play for.
Yeah, it's all to play for. I've really got to try and win some more to get back in front of Mark. So Pembrey's been real kind to me over the years, so hopefully I can get a good result these 2 days and bring myself back up into the front of the championship.
Mark Higgins, only your third competitive event in a supercar in the British Championship at least, and you're leading here coming to Pembrey. Happy with how the season's gone so far?
Yeah, it's been good. As you said, it's a learning curve, and we did Silverstone as well, which was great. So yeah, we're just building on that, and it's nice to be in the front at the moment, but it's a long way to go, and this is quite an important weekend being a double header. So it'd be really important to come away with some good points here. And the gap between first and second is quite small, and also there's drop ground, so it becomes quite complicated as the year goes on.
Ollie O'Donovan, victory last time out at Croft, and you've come to Pembrey with a fresh new look to the Ford Focus.
Yeah, Hal. We had a good run in Croft. We were very happy with the way the car performed, and I think consensus early in the year we were going to change the colour back to the original colours, bring us back a bit more of winning look, podium look. But yeah, it's back in yellow. It's the original yellow we had so many years ago, and we're going to try and push for another result this weekend.
Of course, you won the British Championship in 2007 with a yellow livery on your Peugeot 306. You also made your Rallycross debut here in a supercar.
I did indeed. So Pembrey's good. I like Pembrey. I wasn't very lucky here last time out. I had a big accident down in Honda Curve, and it put me out for the rest of the season. But we're back in Pembrey. I like Pembrey. I think the new track is good. It's fairly equal playing for everybody. We just had a little free practice out there. There's a lot of driving in the track. It doesn't look it, but there's a lot of driving to get around this track.
Hopes for today?
Today, you know, we're on the back of the grid again for the draw, which I think is randomly unlucky, 3 times in the back of the grid. We'll try and walk our way up front row grid for a start to a final, and then try and push. Obviously, we're going to try and be on the podium, and we'd like to push for a win, but we'll have to think of championship points all the way through.
Our first look at what the new circuit layout is like for supercars as we go racing in Q1, and a great start by Julian Godfrey. He blasts around the outside then as they accelerate up towards the right-hander of centre. Steve Hill goes second, and the new look Focus of Ollie O'Donovan is third. Out of centres, this is where the finish line will be, and then they wriggle their way up towards Toyo's. Onto the concrete off the tarmac, back on again, and then up towards the Brooklands hairpin. Speed building here, Speedway straight, as out wide goes Mark Higgins. You're running on board with him now. Goes to the inside of Liam Manning in the Subaru, hard on the brakes for the Carter's hairpin, and then round the back of the paddock. The leader is Julian Godfrey, clips those penalty markers though. Is that going to be an issue post-race? Let's see. Across the loose they come, approaching now the Joker section of the lap. He goes straight on for the Joker. Mark Higgins takes him, gets it out of the way early on in the race. On board with Higgins. Across that loose section, Liam Manning goes back ahead in the Subaru. The Welshman making a welcome visit to the British Rallycross Championship. This is Steve Hill's view. To Toyo's they go, and then up towards the Brooklands hairpin. But Julian Godfrey in this rebuilt Mitsubishi going great guns. Ollie O'Donovan hunting down Steve Hill, looking back from the Mitsubishi. Hill coming under attack then. Double OD, Ollie O'Donovan, winner last time out, remember, at Croft, only just, and with a broken car after contact on the line. He is right on the tail of that Mitsubishi as they dance their way across the loose here. Hill with a touch of understeer, back steps out, and all the drivers being very positive about the new layout here. O'Donovan is on the Joker lap, hits the handbrake to get the car round the corner and then fire it back onto the line alongside Mark Higgins. The two of them brushed, remember, at Croft. Higgins goes through, but he goes out wide. Here's Ollie O'Donovan back up the inside, out of Ollie's corner. Side by side they run towards Senna's. Higgins on the inside line. He goes through. Mark Higgins picks up the place. O'Donovan then slots in behind him. But O'Donovan, remember, like Higgins, has done the Joker, and Mark Higgins has come out ahead of it. An important battle between the two of them as they hit the brakes for the hairpin now. This is Julian Godfrey's view. He makes his way across that loose section of circuit once more, building up the advantage, and you would not think that under a month ago this car was cartwheeling to seeming destruction. It is quick, and it's way out front at the moment. Ollie O'Donovan, in the meantime, dropping away from the Eddie Stobart-backed car of Albatech Racing's Mark Higgins that won at Lyddon. Higgins, remember, is in his first full season of rallycross. Took part in the World Championship round at Silverstone and went very well indeed there. Higgins comes through Toyos then, hunting down Steve Hill. Can he get up to the Mitsubishi in time? Let's see now. Along Speedway straight, nose drops on the Peugeot as Mark Higgins hits the brakes. The understeering Mitsubishi goes out a little wide. Julian Godfrey is on that Joker lap. He should have enough in hand to be able to get back on ahead of the opposition though. And there is the opposition. Hill Joker, so Mark Higgins gains one place. Where is he in relation to Julian Godfrey? Here comes Steve Hill, back onto the circuit, approaching Ollie's, and he falls in behind Double OD. Ollie O'Donovan goes through. Julian Godfrey looks as though he's going to win the race. He does. He comes over the timing beam first. Second goes the way of Mark Higgins. So an all-action start to the supercar class. Julian Godfrey is quickest ahead of Mark Higgins. Ollie O'Donovan coming through for third ahead of Steve Hill and local man Roger Thomas.
You competed in the World Championship round at Silverstone. Obviously, you competed there in the British Championship for the season opener. But has that experience given you more ammunition to come back to the British Championship?
Yeah, every time you get in the car, I mean, you're in the car for such short mileage anyway. Any chance you get is a bonus. So that was a really good experience. We loved that. It was a great atmosphere, and hopefully that's going to help us with the British campaign as well.
You had a very small amount of rallycross experience before this season, didn't you? You raced a buggy here at Pembrey, but now they've changed the circuit, so it's the same for everybody.
Yeah, no, it is. It's great to come to a brand new circuit, and we reversed it the next day, so it's pretty well a level playing field. I think a few have tested here before, but it was brand new for us this morning, and it actually works really well. It flows nice. Good to have a Joker back after Croft. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a good weekend, and we've got sun shining in Pembrey.
We're ready for Q2 here at Pembrey. The supercars on the track as the lights go green. Mark Higgins storms away from the middle of the front row. Ollie O'Donovan on the outside line, not really the ideal place to be, and so Julian Godfrey on the inside with that tighter line secures the race lead. He was fastest in Q1, and the very stubby little Mitsubishi leads the pack through Toyos for the first time. O'Donovan there is third ahead of Steve Hill. Mark Higgins taking the battle to Godfrey. Coming out of the Brooklands hairpin, the Manxman on the back of the engine preparer. Down they head towards the hairpin, and it's Godfrey only just ahead. Higgins won at Lyddon. Godfrey took maximum points at Silverstone because of the inclusion of the non-registered, non-scoring World Championship drivers. So that counts as his victory for the season as he comes across the loose section. Hill goes for the Joker in the background. Julian Godfrey is not getting away from Mark Higgins. Godfrey 5 times the British champion, Higgins in his rookie season. Multiple British rally champion, of course, and now they accelerate up through Senna's. The tarmac section is very fast. The loose section of the circuit is proving to be very popular with the drivers too, so this new look, new format Pembrey Rallycross circuit has been a real hit thus far this weekend, and remember that for tomorrow it's in reverse. Higgins comes down to the hairpin, but is Godfrey edging away a little bit. Hard on the brakes, Mark Higgins tries to get a tighter line out of the hairpin, and it does work for him. He gets back onto the tail of Julian Godfrey as they come through paddock. Does either of them Joker this time? Mark Higgins will do. He goes for that Joker lap. So you go straight on through the sort of double apex left and then fire back onto the line. That takes you to Ollie's, out of which comes Ollie O'Donovan way wide onto the grass. That's going to lose him time, lose him momentum. Godfrey leads the pack, and there is Mark Higgins inching up onto the tail of the yellow Ford Focus. It's another great battle this between all three of them, and O'Donovan a little bit wide, Higgins up on 2 wheels over the curbs. Can he find a way past the Irishman as they hit the hairpin this time? O'Donovan in second spot, but Julian Godfrey looks as though he's got this one nailed, just as he had in Q1. O'Donovan now will have to go defensive. There's more dust hanging in the air, you can see. Godfrey jokers. O'Donovan is going to joker as well, I think. Yes, he does. And so here comes Mark Higgins to pick up the advantage. But Godfrey fires back at him and comes through. Fantastic. Julian Godfrey off the joker, goes through. And as they get onto the tarmac where it's dusty and slippy, Julian Godfrey is back in front as they come onto the last lap. Brilliant racing. Julian Godfrey all fired up here. He wants to win this weekend. Pembrey's always been kind to him, and you can see why. Godfrey leading, Higgins in second place. From Godfrey's point of view, new configuration or old, it doesn't matter. He's quick at both. Liam Manning is all sideways, and fellow Welsh driver Roger Thomas in the Focus goes round the outside of him. Julian Godfrey leads on the last lap. Mark Higgins is right up behind him, but he's running out of options, running out of ideas. He sits in the dust generated by Julian Godfrey's car as they come across the loose to the tarmac at Ollie's, and then the run up towards Senna's. Can Higgins fire up the inside? No, he cannot. Julian Godfrey is going to make it 2 out of 2 in qualifying. He goes over the line, and Julian Godfrey wins in Q2 from Mark Higgins. Ollie O'Donovan is going to be third ahead of Steve Hill. But another great drive by Julian Godfrey. Godfrey the fastest, but only just. Mark Higgins chasing him home. Those two well clear of Ollie O'Donovan, with Steve Hill third ahead of Roger Thomas and Liam Manning.
Julian, you ended round 3 on your roof. You've come back here fighting strong, and you've dominated with 2 fastest times this morning.
Yeah, no, it's gone very well this morning. It was a good run in the first heat. Then the second heat, I had a very good run with Mark. He's certainly very quick. It's going to be hard to push to beat him. But no, I had a good run there. Made a couple of mistakes. He did get into the lead briefly. I did the joker, but he went wide on the ground and I came on the inside of him again. So no, it was a good race and good clean race.
Welcome back to Pembrey for the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship. It is Q3 for the supercars. They're on the grid. Julian Godfrey in the white Mitsubishi Mirage is the man to beat. He has topped the times in Q1 and Q2, and he leads right from the get-go here as Ollie O'Donovan and Mark Higgins rub. And O'Donovan is sideways. Higgins fights back alongside him on the outside line up to Senna's, but he can't find a way through. And Godfrey, therefore, has built up a gap already of about 2 lengths. O'Donovan is in second spot, the gap widening. Higgins third, Steve Hill fourth in the Mitsubishi as they come off the concrete there at Toyo's to the Brooklands hairpin. Higgins way out wide, hustling on. Ollie O'Donovan in the Ford Focus down to Carter's hairpin, but up front just ahead of him and really going for it now is Julian Godfrey. Mark Higgins comes across the loose. Now, do they get the joker out of the way early or leave it late? Godfrey seems to normally be one of the late goers for the joker. Higgins an early, but this time actually it's Steve Hill who is the earliest of all in the Mitsubishi. Former British champion Ollie O'Donovan then with a tweak on the handbrake comes through that corner of Ollie's up onto the power again towards Senna's. The lap is shorter and the bulk of it moved across to the very back part of the circuit. So all of this element is new in the rallycross track for this year. They go down towards the hairpin effectively to go onto the loose where they would have come off it 12 months ago. Subaru versus Mitsubishi further down. Liam Manning losing out to Steve Hill. Remember, Hill has jokered. And Liam Manning, son of rallycross regular and former autographer Mike Manning, he loses a spot there. To the joker goes Mark Higgins then. The British Rally champion in the Albatech Ram Peugeot goes for the joker and will now fire it back onto the course, approaching Ollie's. O'Donovan comes out of the corner through that right-hander and he's on the power once more. Is he going to be able to do anything now he's not defending about catching Godfrey? Julian Godfrey is away and gone up the road. It's not going to be easy for O'Donovan this. There is Steve Hill in the Mitsubishi, a car with which he's had, and I know we say it a lot, lots of mechanical maladies, but when it goes well. In terms of points, he was second at Silverstone. Could he have another good weekend here, I wonder? Julian Godfrey across the loose then. Goes for the joker lap now, and so behind him, O'Donovan does exactly the same thing. Mark Higgins then now looks to try to pick up places. Is he going to be able to do so? Not against Godfrey, possibly against O'Donovan. Wait for the yellow peril to arrive. Higgins is ahead. O'Donovan is sideways behind him in the dust. back on the power once again, and so Julian Godfrey now looking good as he starts his last lap for 3 out of 3 in terms of qualifying top times. Only the one group, no need for a semi-final this weekend given the size of the entry, so Julian Godfrey's race win would see him, assuming he hangs on, would see him be the fastest again in Q3. Out of the hairpin he goes, so does Higgins, now O'Donovan. Across the loose section goes Ollie O'Donovan, working hard now to try to get himself right onto the tail of Mark Higgins, but I fear he might be running out of opportunities. Visibility negligible now in the dust. It may be that gets treated before we get to the finals because it's very slippy on that dusty road. It's a win for Julian Godfrey, second for Mark Higgins, and third Ollie O'Donovan. Not just slippy in that dust, but also visibility negligible as well. So Julian Godfrey has laid down a marker here. Repaired car and a very, very fast one. At the end of Q3, Julian Godfrey fastest once again from Mark Higgins, Ollie O'Donovan third, and then Steve Hill with Liam Manning, sadly, a retirement. So what does that do in terms of the classification? It means Julian Godfrey's going to be good for pole with Higgins and O'Donovan alongside. Steve Hill fourth ahead of Thomas and Manning.
Steve, a strong performance in Q1 this morning, but a few problems in Q3.
Yeah, a boost pipe going in Q3, so we're winding up to be a bit quicker, but just can't quite go on the pace of the first couple.
Your thoughts on the new circuit here at Pembrey?
It's good fun to drive.
And your hopes for the final, your second row of the grid, I guess, so a battle from there.
Second row of the grid, 3 quick cars in front, just got to try and get in amongst them somehow. We'll do our best, and hopefully my tyres might last a bit longer than some of the others.
Ollie, a good start there in Q3, but really difficult to pass at this track, but also to hang on to Julian and Mark. It's a high pace today.
Yeah, the pace is very quick. I mean, it's dry, temperatures are high. It's a very long run from the front row to try and come around the first corner here. I tried it twice, had a bit of a run at the second time, but I don't think it's possible to get around. I don't know what I'm going to do for the final. I'm in the same position for the final. It's something you can't really predict. You can work it out all you want. You don't know what's going to happen until you drop that clutch.
We always get great racing out of the Super National and Super 1600 runners. Expect more of the same at Pembrey. After Q1, Darren Scott, the fastest, ahead of Jack Thorne. Paul Coney in third. Q2 also fell to Jack Thorne, becoming the man to beat. Lomax and Coney behind him. Paige Bellamy back in her Lotus, fourth from Darren Scott and Guy Corner. Tristan Ovenden on the grid for this first race in Q3 as the lights go green. The Clio V6 blasts away. He retired from his second race, so he's got to get a good time in here. He leads the championship and he rockets ahead of Guy Corner in the little Peugeot, the man that's fifth in the title race thus far. Slavomir Bolok is next, and Kirk Twyman in the Clio comes up against the rear-wheel drive Fiesta as they go up towards the Toyo sequence and then to Brooklands hairpin for the first time. Off the concrete of the Toyo section, this is Speedway straight and now down towards the hairpin. The Peugeot in the hands of Guy Corner is a very rapid car, but around here he's going to give away a lot of horses to that big V6 engine Renault. The Clio also makes a great noise. So Tristan Ovenden it is, powering away, and Guy Corner doing his best to stay with him. And Kirk Twyman goes for the Joker lap nice and early here. Through they turn, back towards the tarmac here that will bring them through Ollie's and then up towards Senna's. There is Guy Corner in second spot, and you can see that the man from Northallerton is just dropping back a little bit. Tristan Ovenden determined to try and score yet another victory this weekend to go alongside last year's title success, and the Clio has the advantage at the moment. Volok in the meantime is well clear of Twyman, but remember that Kirk behind him has taken that Joker lap, so that inevitably means the gap is going to be slightly skewed for the moment. It'll all unravel, of course, when the Joker is served as well by Slavomir Volok. Kirk Twyman, the man from Nottingham. Here's Guy Corner in the MP Groundworks Peugeot coming across the loose, as now for the Joker goes Tristan Ovenden. The Canterbury driver gives up the race lead. Corner goes ahead, but he will have to Joker on the next lap, so this is going to be a very determined defence. He's got to keep ahead and try and pull clear as well, but remember the more powerful Renault is right there behind, right alongside Guy Corner, tries to brave it out with him. starting the last lap. They are absolutely together, and yes, Guy Corner keeps the advantage. But sadly, it is so close. Surely he is going to lose out when they get to the Joker lap. Let's see. On the power they come. Tristan Ovenden with all of that grunt and go comes up on the inside line. Is he going to outbrake Guy Corner? Yes, he does. Corner goes deep, but can he get the undercut? Yes, little tap in the tail. Ovenden goes out wide and Guy Corner comes back through. The Peugeot retakes the advantage. Fantastic. Corner for the Joker lap, and so now look, Ovenden is going to be able to go back ahead of him. Great racing, but there wasn't enough advantage for Corner to be able to preserve this. Across the loose they come, and that now puts into the lead once again Tristan Ovenden, and it should now be him to the checkered flag. All of that power, the Renault on full noise as he goes over the timing beam, and it is therefore a victory for Tristan Ovenden, with in second place Guy Corner. The second group on the line then for Q3. Jack Thorne on pole, Craig Lomax and Paul Coney with him at the front. Paige Bellaby on row 2 alongside Darren Scott as we go racing. Darren Scott a bit slow away. Paige Bellaby makes a demon start there up the inside. Tries to squeeze past Jack Thorne in the Renault, can't do it, and so the Twingo has the advantage. Bellaby though up to second place, back in the Lotus, having been in the Vauxhall VX 220 early in the season. And there's a lot of smoke coming from, was that Craig Lomax's car that looks like it has ground to a halt in the background. Jack Thorne, one-time supercar driver, trying to get away, and yep, that is Lomax. He is done. I just wonder whether there might have been a broken suspension part there, because it looked very close, very tight as they were making their way up towards Senna's, and maybe in all of that elbows out racing, something has broken. For second place then, the Corsa in the hands of Paul Coney, dwarfing the Lotus. He towers over the top of Paige Bellaby's car, and it goes for the Joker. Paul Coney then peels off, serves the Joker lap and promotes Darren Scott up ahead of him in the meantime. Back onto the tarmac they come, so Paige Bellaby then with the Honda engine Lotus doing a very good job. And after a long winter rebuild, determined now to be able to start scoring well. The Vauxhall did her proud, but this has always been a very competitive car. Darren Scott then in third place at the moment. The one to watch will be Paul Coney now. Joker serve, where can he get himself to? He's the man that leads the Super 1600 title fight normally, but this year he's finding it a bit tighter. Craig Lomax ahead of him on points coming into this weekend. So Paul Coney needs to fight back if he can. There is Jack Thorne, winner at Silverstone. Mechanical dramas at both Linden and Croft rather stymied the championship onslaught, but if he gets a good haul of points here, there's still plenty of season left. It all finishes at Silverstone again on the first weekend of November. The Silverstone course a big hit with the drivers, but here at Pembrey, this new configuration proving to be very popular as well. So Paige Bellaby back onto the tarmac through the Brooklands hairpin and onto Speedway Straight. Speed building now. Heading down to the hairpin. There you can see behind it is Paul Coney, back end Darren Scott behind him. Those two not yet able to gain ground, but what they are trying to do, of course, is promote themselves when the next cars serve the Joker lap. Paul Coney across the loose, but Paige Bellaby leaving it late. So too is Jack Thorne. But Jack, and we've seen it before, tries to do this late in the race, having built up a gap. Paige Bellaby does now Joker. There is the leader, but Bellaby, by jokering, will lose how many places? 1 or 2? It's going to be both, isn't it? Through goes, first of all, Paul Coney. Also, Darren Scott will go past as well. They are side by side, and wide goes Coney, so Darren Scott gets past him. Jack Thorne takes the advantage, and that is going to be a victory for him. Darren Scott comes through behind, and Paige Bellaby next, chasing home Paul Coney. Let's just confirm the way the times are then. On the end of Q3, Jack Thorne's win quicker than the time of Tristan Ovenden, so Jack Thorne is fastest in the third round of heat, and so that means on points he will take pole position ahead of Darren Scott. Paul Coney third, Paige Bellaby fourth from Craig Lomax and Kurt Twyman in sixth. A crucial weekend in the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship here at Pembrey. It's day one of a double header, double the action for the juniors. In the MSA Junior Rallycross Championship, Luke Constantine is the man topping the times after qualifying. We're ready to go racing then. The grid is formed. Luke Constantine on pole. Marius Solberg Hansen lining up alongside Tom Constantine, double winner this year, on the outside of the front row ahead of Morgan Root and Christina Havel, with Patrick O'Donovan, Ben Sayer and James Constantine on the back as we go racing. Good start from Marius Solberg Hansen from the middle of the front row, but Luke Constantine on the inside line there, just getting ahead. Constantine brothers, Luke and Tom, up near the front, and it's a very crossed up Luke that just manages to hang on to it. Tom Constantine is down in 4th place here with work to do. They come through Troyos for the first time. Whoops, there's a spin in the background. Ben Sayer has gone around, possibly with a little bit of help. Onto Speedway Straight they come then now. Nose to tail, all identical Suzuki Swifts, remember. And Luke Constantine it is that has the advantage. There is Tom Constantine in 3rd place, double winner. And as they come across the loose then, splashing their way through the puddles, the circuit has been watered to try and keep the dust down. It also means it's fairly slippery now, but going well, Luke Constantine in the lead here. Marius Solberg Hansen running in 2nd spot as they come across the loose. There in 3rd spot, Tom Constantine looking to try to find a way by, and a bit of understeer from Solberg Hansen might now just give him that opportunity. Let's see. They make their way once more up towards the Toyo sequence and then towards the Brooklands hairpin. And now Constantine tries to force the issue. Look, up on the inside line here. Dead set side by side as they come down now towards the hairpin. And through on the inside will go Tom Constantine. That's a good, brave pass. That through he goes, up on the inside line. Tom Constantine it is then, moving forward all the time. Solberg Hansen goes for that joker lap, getting it out of the way. So that means this family affair continues to rage on up front. Solberg Hansen, remember, was the man that won at Silverstone at the start of the season, so he has added his name to that winners list as the Constantines come through side by side with Tom up on the inside, and he goes through. Tom Constantine gets himself ahead, or does he? There's contact! Luke Constantine gets into the side of him. James Constantine is not that far adrift either now, but big drama between the two brothers then. A brush between the pair. And Luke Constantine, the younger of the two, the aggressor. James Constantine, cousin James, now running in 3rd place as they come across that slippery infield section. Running out wide, Luke Constantine, the man that is 2nd in the championship. James goes for the joker, others follow suit now. Through they turn. The finals, of course, that little bit longer, and that gives extra track time to the drivers, and they can plan their race just a little bit more. It's also more demanding because it's a very energetic sport, rallycross, so you're putting more effort into it over these longer finals. They're going through. Morgan Root, hard at work. Morgan Root 5th in the championship, former kart racer. Comes out of Troyos, back onto the tarmac, up towards the Brooklands hairpin. Then the speed builds along the straight here. We've done 4 laps as Constantine's 1st and 2nd fend off Marius Solberg Hansen. But if they drive into each other again, life is going to become very difficult indeed. That is going to bring Solberg Hansen back into the mix. The other great thing about this weekend, with this being a completely new configuration of circuit, it's a great leveller for everybody. Silverstone, a new venue added to the calendar, but a new track here at Pembrey. Marius Solberg Hansen still keeping Morgan Root at bay as they come across the loose. Back onto the tarmac at Ollie's, up towards Senna's, speed building. Lower down the order, there's Patrick O'Donovan, there's the other element of the Constantine family, James Constantine, and so on to lap 6. The last lap through will turn the leaders. Tom Constantine ahead now. Luke, having jokered, Luke has dropped back into, where is he going to be? 4th place. Marius Solberg Hansen looking as though he is too far back now to really challenge for the race lead. Unless Tom Constantine on his joker lap is going to lose ground. And there, look, diving up the inside is James Constantine. Gets himself alongside Luke, who gets forced out wide. It's a feisty family. Through they turn as one then. The pair of them absolutely together. More and more damage being picked up on the side of 107, Luke Constantine's car. They bounce their way then across the loose section back to tarmac, but it looks as though it's going to be a third win from 4 rounds for Tom Constantine. He won at Lyddon, he won at Croft, he wins at Pembrey. Second, but a bit nearer in the end, is Marius Solberg Hansen, but a great drive by Tom Constantine. Then he comes home victorious, and he has definitely now put himself clear in that championship fight with another great haul of points here at Pembrey. Let's do the race result first of all. Tom Constantine ahead of Marius Solberg Hansen. Morgan Root up to third ahead of Luke and James Constantine. Patrick O'Donovan sixth after spinner Ben Sayer came home seventh. So in the championship, Tom Constantine now is 14 points ahead of Marius Solberg Hansen, who is up to second ahead of Luke Constantine, fourth Morgan Root.
Tom, you were quite a long way behind the lead on the first lap of the final, but a brilliant drive and another victory.
Yeah, we got a bit of a rubbish start, to be honest, and ended up fourth by the first corner, so I knew I had a lot of work to do, but I managed to battle through the pack, and by the time I came to Joker I came out with a clear track, so yeah, a really good day. Final just seemed to go my way.
Marius, a really close final, a hard battle, but a good finish.
Yeah, it was a very good finish. I'm happy with that.
And this circuit, what do you think of racing in Wales?
This is very good track, yeah.
Morgan, a really close final, some hard battles, but a great podium finish.
Yeah, it was a good race. I got the Joker out of the way first and then got past a few people and ended up third.
The MSA Super Nationals and the Super 1600s are on track for the final, where Jack Thorne starts on pole alongside Darren Scott and Paul Coney. Then you've got Paige Bellaby and Craig Lomax on the second row, Kirk Twyman, Guy Corner and Tristan Ovenden on the back row of the grid. Lights go green, Jack Thorne blasts away, and look at that, straight away Paige Bellaby makes contact as she dives up from the second row, and the gap between Thorne and Scott was not big enough. How much damage has that done to the Lotus? Let's see. Craig Lomax here trying to gain ground on the inside of Bellaby, and does go through. Paige Bellaby then back behind the wheel of the Lotus after starting the year with the borrowed Vauxhall VX220, has now got Guy Corner right behind her. She's dropped to the back of the pack pretty much though. Delayed and damaged. On board with her now, through goes Guy Corner, and Paige knows all is not well. Paul Coney, the Super 1600 leader, is about to lose out. Izzy Ovenden goes through on the inside, on board with Lomax. He gets into Paul Coney, knocks him sideways, and Coney off the road, where all the earth has been shifted to one side. There's a great big berm, and he goes up it. Coney, though, comes out ahead of Craig Lomax, who now serves the Joker, and he's not the only one, because Guy Corner does likewise. Tristan Ovenden in the big, powerful Clio. He's working his way forward. Super 1600 star Paul Coney here is up behind him and understeers his way into contention. He leads the individual class for the Super 1600s, does Paul Coney within the championship. But Tristan Ovenden, the man that leads Super National in the title race, he is working forward now. Jack Thorne, the man that won at Silverstone, is leading here as well, trying to break clear. Paul Coney accelerates along Speedway Straight, and only really when all the Joker laps have been served do we know exactly where he is relative to Darren Scott. There, look, coming towards us in the Pertec back car, because he is the Super 1600 opposition. Coney ahead of Lomax for the moment, seemingly. Tristan Ovenden, has he got a problem? He looks to be a bit slow there, arguably because it's neat, but there didn't seem to be quite the same effort being put in, just making me fearful, because Ovenden, remember, retired out of Q2. Looks okay here though, back onto the tarmac and sprinting away. So it's one of those deceptively smooth laps potentially. This is Craig Lomax's view. Heading up towards Toyo's, right, left, again. And then to the Brooklands hairpin with Paul Coney now right up behind him after the Joker laps. So Paul Coney falling back, and he's got work to do here. Guy Corner next in the queue as they sprint along Speedway Straight. Look, Lomax defending the inside line. Coney will have to brake late and try the outside, and it doesn't work for him. Through they come together now. Through the loose section. Super 1600s running with Super Nationals this year. It's been a very good decision to mix the two classes, and Guy Corner's Super National Peugeot being humbled a bit by the Super 1600 duo here ahead of him. This is Lomax's view, and he's hard at work over the bumps, down through the gears. Control the car, grab a gear now. There's a lot going on in a rallycross car. It's a huge adrenaline rush. Imagine what it's like in a supercar. Guy Corner there just dropping back a little bit as they come up towards Toyo's. these 6-lap finals, and Jack Thorne leading the way now by 4.9 seconds over Tristan Ovenden. Third is Darren Scott, then it's Lomax, then it's Coney, and sixth is Guy Corner. So Paige Bellaby, I'm afraid to say, out of contention as there. Jack Thorne goes for the Joker, Tristan Ovenden alongside him, and Thorne just stays ahead. Fantastic! The Renault Twingo just has the advantage as Jack Thorne oversteers, then understeers his way out of Ollie's. Back on the power, back on the tarmac, accelerate up towards Senna's now. Starting the last lap of the race, nose to tail. There's a lot of pressure on Jack Thorne as he goes for a second win of the season and to try to even the score in terms of wins between him and Ovenden. He's out wide up the curb, he tries to defend. Renault Twingo versus Renault Clio that gets into the back, and there's contact. There's more contact, Ovenden hits Thorne again and off they both go, but that I fear could be Ovenden's race gone with suspension broken. Tristan Ovenden off the road, and then with the suspension broken, he was a passenger hitting Jack Thorne, and Jack has got away with it, or has he? Can he get to the end now without further dramas? Let's see. Darren Scott second, leading in Super 1600 here, going so strongly, and Jack Thorne flicks the car back onto the tarmac, and he's going to be good surely now to get to the end, but Tristan Ovenden went for a gap that closed, kept on coming, contact made, he rode into the air, and with a breakage he's out as now Lomax is being attacked, very much attacked by Paul Coney. Darren Scott will win in Super 1600, and Lomax just staying ahead. He lifts as he gets to the flag, and that almost causes mayhem behind him. Jack Thorne is the race winner. Whew, it was a great race, but he's lucky to have survived without any damage. Let's do the race result first of all. Jack Thorne the winner from Darren Scott, and then Craig Lomax. Paul Coney down in 4th ahead of Guy Corner. Kirk Twyman 6th from Paige Bellaby, with Tristan Ovenden a retirement. He still leads the championship, but Craig Lomax is closing. Paul Coney's up to 3rd now, and it also means that in Super 1600 Lomax and Thorne go ahead of Scott and Coney.
Jack, you won the season open at Silverstone, but you haven't had a good run of luck in the last couple of rounds, but fought back with victory today and really close with Tristan on the last lap.
Yeah, safe to say we got the Silverstone luck back. I think we had a few teething problems, but as we expected for the first year, ready for next year really. Yeah, big push today, and problem in heat 1, sorted that, and then yeah, put it on the front row. Knew I had to get into that first corner first, stand a chance and push for a gap, which worked. Very tight on Joker merge, and very tight down the back straight, but yeah, come out on top, couldn't ask for a better day.
Darren, you've had a pretty difficult start to the year in Super 1600 and Super National, but fantastic to finish on the podium overall here.
Yeah, it's great news to have a second now. The boys have been working so hard on the car. We've changed a lot because we've had a lot of problems with cooling temperatures and stuff like that because of the temperatures today. But now they've pulled it off. Without them, I wouldn't have done it, to be truthful. And the car, well, yeah, 100%. We haven't had no issues all day from it, touch wood.
Craig, a tough day for you, a tough final, but a fantastic result.
Yeah, fantastic result. We've come out 3rd on track, but 3rd Super 1600, 3rd in Super National as well. Obviously, I'm still coming away from here, from Pembrey on round 4, with leading the championship in Super 1600, and I'm not 100% sure where we are in the Super Modified, but we're creeping up that ladder as well, so all in all, yeah, a good day.
And a lesser capacity car for you guys in the Super 1600s, and you're racing some really tough competition here, so a fantastic result against some really good cars.
Yeah, good competition. It's always going to be a good competition in British Rallycross, as it is. It's a good championship to be in, and we're enjoying being here.
Paul, another really hard-fought Super National final and another good result.
Yeah, it's not been too bad today. The track's very challenging. And the first corner is always really difficult, simply because there's so many cars trying to get into it, but it's a really fast flowing circuit. But overall, we're very pleased. We've scathed, no dramas, and I think we're still in the championship fight, which is the most important thing.
We're almost ready to go racing. The supercars go to the grid, ready for the final. 3 rounds held, 3 different winners. Can we get 4 from 4 here at Pembrey? Julian Godfrey lines up on pole position for the MSA British Rallycross Championship final. Mark Higgins and Ollie O'Donovan alongside. Row 2, Steve Hill and Roger Thomas. Liam Manning missing from the back row of the grid. The lights go green, and a great start by Mark Higgins, who is away like a robber's dog there, but Julian Godfrey goes ahead of him, and Ollie O'Donovan is going to get past the pair of them. Great start by O'Donovan. Goes from the outside to the inside, there's contact. Higgins and Godfrey get together. Godfrey's on a huge slide, a massive tank slapper. He's all over the grass, and the world's fastest lawnmower gets back onto the concrete. But Mark Higgins has got a problem. Higgins may have had a breakage because he's out wide and he's losing place after place. Wow, high drama right from the get-go, and that means now Ollie O'Donovan has got a perfect chance to blast clear of the opposition. Across the loose they come. Roger Thomas, the Welshman, looking for a good result on home soil. He's ahead of Julian Godfrey, who's on a mission. He's also on the Joker lap, so Godfrey, having lost a whole heap of time early on, goes for the Joker. Mark Higgins, I think, has gone for the Joker lap as well, and his pace is not good. Ollie O'Donovan leads Steve Hill at the moment. Their third is Roger Thomas. Now remember, they have managed to build a gap over the rest, over the other two, because of the Joker lap situation. 1 of 6 laps done then, as there is Roger Thomas with the Ford Focus, running out a little bit wide for the Brooklands hairpin. Steve Hill going nicely here. The Mitsubishi gets quicker and stronger and more reliable each time out, it feels. He's across the loose, and he's not a million miles back from Ollie O'Donovan. Through paddock they come here. The turbo's popping away. Through that long left, up towards Ollie's goes Steve Hill. Hits the brakes back onto the tarmac. The back steps out of line as in comes the power to drag the car out of the corner. There, out of centres goes Ollie O'Donovan. The brakes, the nose dips, stabs away at the brake pedal, and now floors the throttle down Speedway straight, pushing on behind him. Charging is Steve Hill, but the gap, I think, is widening. It does look now as though O'Donovan is getting away. Roger Thomas for third, still looking strong. Down he turns, out of Carter's hairpin. Ollie O'Donovan goes for the Joker lap, locks up, scrabbles a little bit deep into the corner, and here comes Steve Hill, who is going to go ahead of him. They almost touch, and O'Donovan is determined to stay ahead, and he does so, or does he? On the outside line, Steve Hill gives it everything he's got, but no, O'Donovan goes through. Steve Hill falls back behind him, so Joker served and still in the lead. Ollie O'Donovan is in the pound seats now. Steve Hill in the Mitsubishi doing his best to go with him. And Mark Higgins at the back is still not really making progress, and nor is Godfrey. I wonder whether it's either damage or maybe even a slow puncture that both of them have picked up. There is Mark Higgins, so he's still going. He wants the points. But all is not well. Ah, you can see it is a puncture, and it's gone. It lets go. Bodywork flails as the tyre finally gives up the unequal struggle. Steve Hill now goes for the Joker. That's going to drop him further away from O'Donovan. Roger Thomas will need to Joker as well, so as they come over the loose to tarmac, Ollie O'Donovan now is away and gone. He is on for a win, his second of the season. He's going to be our first double winner of the year then, in the supercar class within British Rallycross. And Mark Higgins, look at the damage done now that that tyre has let go. It's taken all the bodywork with it. He's got to limp on and try and make sure he gets points. If anybody else were to retire and he could limp to the end, it might just help him. So Mark Higgins struggles across the loose. Ollie O'Donovan is now a lap ahead of him. At the end of the last race at Croft, they were 61 thousandths apart. Julian Godfrey comes through the hairpin. His car also not 100%, but he likewise is still battling on, still persevering to try to salvage points. Ollie O'Donovan, though, is away and gone for a win. There is Godfrey, still chipping away to get onto terms with Roger Thomas. Has he got a puncture as well? He may have on the rear of the car there. It doesn't look great, does it? No, he has got a puncture. So Julian Godfrey, it's the right rear on his car, and that tallies with the damage on the left front of Mark Higgins. So problems for both of them, and they are limping to the end. So Godfrey doing his best to hang on in there. And actually, given that he's only got 3 good tyres, the pace is pretty impressive. Ollie O'Donovan then is heading for a win. Sebastian Loeb on the road, it was Julian Godfrey on points at Silverstone, it was Mark Higgins in the wet at Lyddon, and Ollie O'Donovan at Croft. That was a very close run thing with contact on the line. Here it's a lot easier, and double OD, Ollie O'Donovan is a happy man as he wins at Pembrey. Day 1 of this double header goes to the Irishman. Steve Hill is going to take 2nd place, And who is going to come home for third? It's going to be Roger Thomas, the Welshman. He's going to be on the podium on his home round. Great result for him. Julian Godfrey comes home fourth. That's another important haul of points for him. And poor old Mark Higgins, with the punctured and battered and damaged Peugeot, parked it on the grass, and that is not how he wanted to end day one here at Pembrey. So the race results: he's Ollie O'Donovan, the winner, from Steve Hill second, Roger Thomas third, Julian Godfrey fourth, Mark Higgins doesn't get to the end, Liam Manning sadly a non-starter.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the best start. I probably dropped a second, just fraction of a second, and got away. Saw a bit of rubbing going on. I decided to tuck left and let the boys fight away, and it just all fell into my hands after that.
Your second win in a row. This makes you the first double win in the season and puts you right in title contention.
Yeah, that's good. I'm very happy we'll take a win no matter how it comes. Very happy to take it, yeah. It's a good race, good clean race for me from front. You always panic. Got a bit of a fright with Steve on the joker lap. I didn't know that he hadn't jokered. I thought, why, he's pretty close, you know. It was just after the event I realised that he still had a joker to do at that stage, so he could have been over there.
Steve, you haven't had the easiest day today. A few problems in Q3, but fantastic position for you to be in the final, and you picked your way through, and a brilliant result.
I think it's just a case of just keep going and things work out sometimes, you know. We're lucky, really.
In your second place point scoring of the year, you finished second at Silverstone, but didn't have the honour of standing on the podium because of the World Championship guests. So your best result of the year in that case.
Exactly. We might even get a trophy today, so that's quite nice. Yeah, no, it was a good result, and Ollie drove really well to win, and we didn't have much to give. You know, I don't think we could have caught him, so I'm happy with what I got.
Roger, I believe you've had quite a challenging day with sensor problems and gearbox problems, but to finish on the podium at your home circuit in the British Championship must be pretty special.
Yeah, it's been an eventful day, to say the least. But yeah, to finish the day with a third, fantastic. Couldn't wish for better.
Ahead of round 5, this is your second top 3 point scoring position of the year here in round 4. So the pace is there. You just need a bit of reliability and a bit of consistency, I think.
Yeah, consistency from me as a driver, definitely, and reliability. Yeah, just one of those days. I think everything seems to have gone wrong, you know. We're in our second gearbox now. We've already got a problem with that from the final, so fingers crossed for tomorrow.
Julian, a near perfect day in the rebuilt Mirage RX. Great job by Spencer Sport to get here, but not the perfect final.
No, not the perfect final. No, they've done a great job on the car. We've done a few more changes during the day, and it's getting better and better. The car's really good now, and had some really good heats, but in the final, Hunter in the second corner from Mark, and ruined the final, so just struggled around and get as best as I could.
You and Mark were having quite a battle off the line, and Ollie just managed to tuck inside. You quite a clever move from him there, and unlucky for you and Mark both to get punctures.
That's right, yeah. Ollie sort of stayed the outside, and then we were running wide, so he tucked down the inside, and then coming to the next corner, I braked to not go in the back of Ollie, and Mark obviously didn't realise that the brakes pedal there, and turned me around, or punched me, almost turned me around, then I gathered it up, and then trying to not go in the back of Ollie, I spun it again. I spun it on my own, just trying to gather it up. But no, it sort of ruined the day really. But hopefully not too much damage, and we'll pick out tomorrow.
Mark, a really solid day for you here. Second on the grid for the final, but a puncture after some contact and a DNF.
Yeah, it was a shame when we got a really good start in the final. Got into the first corner, there was a bit of banging going on, and unfortunately we got a puncture. And that was the end of our final, unfortunately. So, we've been working on things all through the day. The car's been great all day. It's been nice and solid. And when we've had a clean air, we've felt we've been quite fast. So we'll have to see what happens on the second one.
And your points lead, Ollie's taken the advantage, but it's only 3 points. It's still super close, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really close. We've got drop scores to look into. I mean, this hasn't been a great one for us, but it can change so quickly in rallycross, as we found out. And it's never over till the last corner of the final. So let's see what happens tomorrow.
First though, let's have a look at the championship. Ollie O'Donovan now moves ahead. He's 3 points up on Mark Higgins. Julian Godfrey down to third, with Steve Hill fourth ahead of Roger Thomas. There's more action coming up. In 24 hours time, they're racing again here at Pembrey.